And it seems like we hear about this so often lately. Brightside reporter Josh Sidorowitz is here. And Josh, every case is very unique, but there are things that pet owners can do to make sure that they avoid something like this.
They can, but still tough, Court, nonetheless, right? The verdict, at least, is still out in this latest case of an 8-year-old Pomeranian that seemed fine, only to be found dead 2 hours later in its carrier in a cargo facility during a layover. But a local vet who specializes in preparing animals to ship them all over the world, he says that there are several factors that could cause a pet's sudden death on a plane that could have nothing to do with the airline itself. Dr. Walter Wolf is who I went to. He's with Air Animal in Tampa. He says everything from the extreme conditions of flying, like the change in oxygen levels, temperatures, or frankly just the anxiety for an animal, to unknown pre-existing health conditions. Those can all lead to death. But there are a few things he recommends, like getting a routine checkup from a vet, especially for a pet traveling for the very first time. You could even get a signed health certificate stating the pet is fit to fly. He also recommends getting the animal used to its crate and cutting back food in the hours and days beforehand. And he says to never sedate the animal. It slows their breathing, which can be the difference, he believes, between life and death when you're dealing with a change in oxygen and pressure levels during flight. But bottom line, he cautions that unless you truly have to put your pet on a plane, he says it's probably best not to.
I wish the dog could turn around and say, oh, by the way, I haven't been feeling good for the last several days. But they don't do that. I mean, there are certain inherent risks that we cannot predict.
And with that in mind, keep this in mind, that of the more than 500,000 animals that were flown on commercial airliners in the U.S. last year, 24 of those animals died. And of that, nearly half of those deaths were what airlines label as high-risk breeds. They're the short or snub noses. They can have breathing problems, and that's why most airlines already actually refuse to even ship those types of breeds for that very reason. Now, as for the cause of this Pomeranian's death on a Delta flight, that remains a mystery, but Delta has said it is conducting a thorough review of this situation.